Hello KCET and PU warriors of 2027 batch. So welcome to Deeksha Karnataka YouTube channel. And if you are thinking that I will start KCET tomorrow, just remember that this tomorrow will never come, but tomorrow exam will come definitely after some time, right? So many of you are thinking that I will start preparing for KCET tomorrow, but in reality that never happens. That tomorrow keeps on dragging. Every day you say it to yourself. So do not say that. You have to start today. Now how can you start your KCET preparation? So I will be basically guiding you through the KCET general KCET, some of the general KCET points, as well as the things that you need to do to score well in physics. It will be a very specific topic that I am going to discuss, that is subject physics. If you want a generalized video, Jasmine ma'am already completed one video, you can go and check that out, but this will be very subject specific. I am Soumik Sir. I teach physics in Deeksha Karnataka. So if you are watching me for the first time, obviously you have to subscribe to our channel, because you are not going to miss out on any updates, any classes that we are doing on our channel. So without delaying, let us look into the topic that we are going to discuss today. First, we will discuss some generalized point about KCET exams. Most of you know it, but you still need to learn it once more. Physics syllabus, all chapters I am going to discuss here. Study plan, how can you study your PU2 syllabus, so that you are not only completing the syllabus, also you are preparing for PU exam, also you are preparing for KCET exam as well. Because as you know, every day the KCET, even though the KCET exam itself is easy, the competition getting higher, because many students are doing well in PUC and KCET exam. So even with the good marks, the rank that you are getting is not as expected. So that's why students are calling it rank inflation. Actually not in inflation, but more students are doing well. That is the major reason that you have to start now, and you have to have a plan for that. Now daily study hours, how many hours you have to study every day, that also I will be discussing. Detailed monthly plan, month wise plan also I will be sharing. You will also get the study materials from where you have to study, everything we will discuss. And obviously the safe score in physics, because as I told you, the competition is getting higher, so you need to know how much you have to score to get a good rank. So that thing you have to embed in your head right now, then only you will be able to succeed in the exam. Now let's start. So what are all the important points about the exam? PU board marks are important for final KCET score. As you know, some of you know already, some of you don't, that the KCET rank actually 50% of your PU and 50% of your KCET exam, right? So combining these two, you get a final rank. And if you are doing well in KCET, not so well in PU, your overall rank will go down. Similarly, if you are doing well in PU but not so well in KCET, then also your rank will go down, right? So you have to do well in both exams, PU as well as KCET. If you are someone from CBSE board, you have to do well in your CBSE final board exam as well, because final board marks are important, equally important as the KCET exam itself. Now in the KCET exam, you have to answer 60 questions in 60 minutes. Now keep that in mind. In the exam you will get some more time to fill up the OMR sheet, but you have to adjust the time in your head that okay, 60 questions in 60 minutes, if I am able to do it, then I am good to go. So that is the benchmark that you have to set, because the extra time that you will get in the exam will definitely going to help you during the exam. About 40 questions are from second PUC, and about remaining 20 questions are from first PUC. Okay, so 40 questions from second, 20 questions are from second PUC, first PUC. So the split is 40-20. Now 50% of those questions are easy. So 50% of 60 question means how many questions? 30 questions. So these 30 questions, 90% of the student make this 30 questions correct. Okay, so 30 questions are actually easy questions. As I mentioned, 90% of the students will always be making these 30 questions properly, because you don't need to do a lot of things, but these 30 questions are under easy category. 30% of the questions are medium. 30% of 60 is about 18 questions. So about 18 questions are medium difficulty. Okay, so 30 questions are easy, 18 questions are medium, and 20 questions are 20% questions are difficult, that is 12 questions are difficult. Okay, so now you have to remember that these 30 questions most of the students will correct, but remaining these 30 questions, that is 18 plus 12, that actually determines whether you will get a top rank or you will get a medium rank. Okay, so this 30 question, because student think that 30 marks I am already scoring, so why should I do any hard work, because 30 marks is enough, right? Actually no, even with score like 48 in physics, 50 in physics, students got rank in 18,000, 20,000 like that. So you have to make sure how many questions you are able to do it properly and answer them correctly. That is a major goal for you, and you have to answer these 30 questions. These 30 questions are easy and solvable, you don't need to worry too much about it, but remaining 30 questions are actually where your rank is decided, and that's why students are not prepared for this, especially the 12 difficult questions. These portion many students are actually not prepared. They are just randomly guessing and thinking that okay, I have already made so many correct answers, so my rank will be good. Actually it will be not. So remember that this 12 question actually determines whether you will be finishing in 1,000 or 10,000 or in 1 lakh. So that is the level of accuracy you need, and this is generally valid for all subjects. Okay, mostly all subjects follow 50-30-20 split. Now let's move on with the important chapters. What are all the important chapters of your KCET exam? That is very important to know which chapter you have to spend more time, which chapters you have to spend less time, which chapters you may just go through it. I am not suggesting any chapter to skip, okay, but if you are not getting any time just day before exam, which chapters you can actually skip. So that is what you have to know. So for example, current electricity is one of the most important chapter of KCET. Year after year you are getting 5 to 6 questions from this chapter. On an average 5 question comes from this chapter every year, including 2026. So this is the chapter that you have to put your attention in. Next is moving charges and magnetism, alternating current. So these chapters you are expecting 4 questions average. Again, this is the last 4-5 years average question. Some year you might find 5 questions, some year you might find 3 questions, but on an average 4 questions do come from these 2 chapters. Ray optics and optical instrument, again 3 questions coming from this chapter. Wave optics also 3 questions. Dual nature of radiation and matter, 3 questions. Semiconductor electronics, average is 3 questions, but last 2 years the number of questions have decreased from this chapter. So you can expect that 2 questions will come from this chapter, because some portions from this chapter are now deleted. That's why average question, even though it is 3, the expected question will be 2. Next, electric charges and field and electrostatic potential and capacitance, both chapters have average questions, 3 each. Now in some of these questions will be mixed between these 2 chapters. Okay, so sometimes you count it on this chapter, sometimes you count on this chapter. So average question between these 2 chapters will be 3 each, right? Next, we also have experiments, which is newly added since 2025 exam. So 2 years, last 2 years it is there, and experiment means the experiments that you perform in your laboratory. Okay, so the experiments that you have performed in your P1 exam, P1 class, as well as the experiments that you are going to perform in your P2 sessions as well. So including all the experiments, I think 10 in P1, 10 in P2, so including 20 experiments that you are going to perform. From those 20 experiments, 3 questions will be coming, mostly procedural based. Okay, so it will be like a table will be given to you. Okay, they will say that how to calculate this value. So if you remember the experiment basics, you should be able to solve them without any difficulty, right? That is one important part. So experiment based questions which are being added, so that will also be there, 3 questions from this. Right, now let's move on to the next medium important chapters. Medium important chapters means from these chapters 2 questions is coming. So semiconductor you can consider to be under medium for your current year. Now magnetism and matter, electromagnetic induction, atoms and nuclei. Now atoms and nuclei used to be important chapters. Now due to some syllabus deletion, combining these 2 chapters, you can expect total number of questions will be 3, not the previously it used to be 2 and 3, total 5 questions used to come, but last few years trend saying that it will be only 3 questions combining these 2 chapters. Next, motion in a plane, work energy power. So if you see, these chapters are from your PU1. Motion in a plane, work energy power, rotational motion, thermodynamics and kinetic theory. Also Newton's law sometimes can also be considered in this list because they are also sometimes 2 questions come from that chapter. So these are the medium important chapter. Now let's move on to the less important chapters. Less important chapters are those from where you are expecting not more than 1 question. So electromagnetic wave, PU2 chapter, only one PU2 chapter in this list, which is electromagnetic waves. Other than that, a physical world is now deleted. Physical world is now deleted. Units and measurement, motion in a straight line, laws of motion. Now as I mentioned, laws of motion sometimes can be 2 questions from this chapter as well. Gravitation, mechanical properties of fluids, mechanical properties of solids, thermal properties of matter, oscillations, waves. So including all these chapters, you are going to get one question is, except Newton's laws of motion, maybe 2 questions can come from this chapter as well. Okay, so they are the less important chapters. Okay, but you cannot skip any of these chapters, because obviously many students at the last moment ask, sir, should I skip PU1? Do I need to do PU1? So do remember that PU1, even though the number of questions are less, but you cannot skip them if you are really aiming for a good rank. If you are really aiming for a rank below 10,000, below 5,000, below 1,000, you definitely cannot skip that, right? That's why you are watching this video. That's why you are still here, right? Now let's look into the overview of the plan. So study all chapters. So your syllabus, your PU2 syllabus should be completed between July and October. If you have not yet started, assuming if you have started, if you have completed few chapters, well and good, but you have to complete your syllabus by the end of October or starting of November. Okay, then you have to do entire revision of your syllabus, PU1, mainly PU1 revision. Okay, PU1 revision should be done in your November. Mock test, full syllabus should be starting from December. PU board preparation should start from January and February. Your PU final will be in end of February till mid-March, and then mid-March till April you have to appear in mock test. You have to revision, do revise, do some practice of the questions. Very, very important. So this should be your final plan. Now I will give you detailed monthly plan, but if you are someone who is not willing to spend that amount of time, and if you are if you want a guided plan for yourself, then we are offering you Pariksha Veera batch. The batch will be starting from July 6th. The batch will be starting from July 6th, and by the first week of November your entire PU board syllabus will be covered, and it will not be very hurried manner. It will be in slow pace, will proper classes, everything will be there. So if you are someone who is struggling with your preparation, if you are not sure that if I do it alone I will not be able to do it, you can join our Pariksha Veera batch. More details about the batch is in the description section of this video. Now let's continue with our daily study plan. How many hours you have to study every day? That is very, very important part to get a good rank, right? If you are watching still this point, definitely you want to know that what should be my daily study plan, how many hours I have to study, because many students do not know how many hours they have to study. So they actually either overstudy or understudy. So that is important. Now regular college days. So you are going to college every day. You are going to college, you are coming back home, you are studying, but you are not focusing. So focused study is very, very important. So every day invest minimum 2 hours to study physics after your college. Now here there is a catch. If you are not able to do it every day right now, you can do it every alternating day as well. Okay, alternating day. But minimum, when you are studying, you have to invest minimum 2 hours of time. You cannot invest anything less than 2 hours. Okay, so when you are investing, invest 2 straight hours for physics. It can be in the morning, but morning time it will be difficult. But I suggest in the evening, when you are coming back from your college, after refreshment, after you have some refreshment, for example, you play some cricket or games or whatever it is, back to your study room and open the physics books and practice materials and study for 2 straight hours without any interruption. So that is very, very important for physics preparation. Okay, after that you can have some another break, then you can study another subject. But whenever you are studying physics, have to spend minimum of 2 hours every day. Okay, 1 hour. Now how in this 2 hour, how should you break your time? So 2 hour study means just open the book and staring at the book. No. So 1 hour you have to study concept formula. So this 1 hour you have to go through the chapter, what are all the important concepts, go through the NCERT line by line if possible, okay, underline some of the important lines where you feel that this is important concept. So you have to go through the book and your class notes or college notes or whatever notes that you are following, go through it for 1 whole hour. Then next 1 hour you have to practice questions, which is very, very important. These questions can be previous year PU level questions, these questions can be chapter end NCERT questions, or it can be KCET PYQ question. But you have to obviously be smart. You cannot invest 1 hour only doing one thing. So half an hour you practice some NCERT question, half an hour you practice some KCET questions. Next time when you are studying, half an hour you study some PU level questions, half an hour you invest on KCET questions. KCET question should be there every day you are studying physics. Next, every Sunday you have to revise everything and try to give one mock test. At this point of time this is optional, but as you are slowly progressing through your classes, as you are slowly progressing through your chapters, definitely mock test should be a regular thing. That is very, very, very important. Right now, long holidays, so you will get some long holidays. For example, if you will get a holiday in during your Independence Day, you will get some holidays during your Dashera, then Diwali, you will get some long holidays. During that time you cannot only invest in festivities, you also have to study, because this year is the most important year in your life, and if you are wasting this 1 year, you will start crying rest of your life. I can guarantee that. So do not waste this 1 year of your life. Okay, every day during holidays, every day invest minimum 4 to 5 hours of studying physics only. So every day during holidays, suppose today is Saturday, Sunday, Monday is holiday, Tuesday is holiday, so during this next 4-5 days you have to invest at least 4 hours of physics every day. Physics is not easy. You will lose out marks on physics if you are not paying attention. So 2 hours out of these 4-5 hours, how many hours you have to study? So 2 hours of study concepts. So in the morning you wake up, you study 2 hours concepts, you go through the books, okay, you study some concepts, you solve some numericals, then come back in the evening with KCET practice. That's how you can do it. Okay, so it's not mandatory that 4-5 hours of straight physics only, unlike here. So here in the day-to-day routine you have following 2 hours of straight. In holidays you can maintain 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. That is how you can split it. Okay, 2 hours study concept and formulas, 1-2 hour of revision. So whatever chapters you have completed already, you also have to revise those chapters, right? You cannot leave them blank. So 1-2 hour of revision of previous chapters and 1 hour of practice. Now this time you practice numericals, you practice KCET numericals or numericals from your textbook, whatever it is, but you have to practice numerical questions, because there you are making most number of mistakes. So you should not do that. You have to practice, you have to start doing it now. Now next, detailed study plan, month on month study plan. So here I am going to discuss every month you have to set a goal that, okay, this is my month of July. So I am giving you a plan starting from 1st of July. Okay, I am not giving you a plan starting today. Okay, so if you are starting from 1st of July, how effectively you can complete your syllabus, which is very, very important. So if you are starting in the month of July, you have to complete these 2 chapters, electric charges and field and electric potential and capacitance. Okay, these 2 chapters mandatorily needs to be completed. Current electricity you should start. Okay, current electricity you should start. So by the month end of July, if you have completed these 2 chapters and started current electricity midway, up to at least 50% of the syllabus of current electricity is covered, then you should think, okay, I am on the right track. So this is a self evaluation tool. So after every month you have to check that whether I am on the right track or not. So if you are someone who is studying self, very good. I am not denying that self study is the best study, but if you are studying self without any proper guidance, then you have to maintain a timetable like this. Okay, so you have to know that, okay, end of July my goal was to finish at least 50% of current electricity. I am there or not? So if you are there, then you are good. You cannot slack. Then also you have to continue that pace. But if you are not able to reach current electricity, then you are lacking. You have to move forward. You have to increase your pace, right? In the month of August, current electricity you should continue, complete the chapter. Next, moving charges and magnetism and matter, these chapters should be completed by end of August. August month you will get some holidays as well, so try to complete these 3 chapters. So whatever left of current electricity, moving charges and magnetism and matter should be completed by end of August. Now in September you should start with electromagnetic induction, alternating current, and ray optics and optical instruments. So these chapters should be completed by end of September. October you will get Dussehra festivals, etc. So there will be some long holidays. So utilize that and finish the remaining chapters. Okay, wave optics, dual nature of radiation and matter, atoms and nuclei, and semiconductor electronics. All these chapters should be completed by October or just before Diwali. During Diwali vacation also you cannot only burst crackers, you also have to focus on study somewhat, right? So before Diwali vacation, if you are able to complete all these chapters, then you are good to go for KCET preparation. Now when you are preparing for these chapters, how can you manage both PU and KCET? That is one question most of you will be asking. So prepare short notes. So when you are studying the chapter, underline some of the important lines and then write down those lines in your own words, in your own notebook, personal notebook that you are maintaining for physics. That will be very, very helpful during the exam. So keep a short notebook track. If you are someone who is lazy, you don't want to write them, then the NCERT textbook have given you some chapter summary at the end of the chapter. You can keep that as well, but that is not written in using your own hand, so that might sometimes feel little difficult to understand. So if you are writing your own understanding in the notebook, that is the best way to learn. Okay, so prepare short note, list of formulas we will also provide you at some point of time. So keep that list of formula with you. Key concepts when you are studying the chapter in the first time. So when you are studying the chapter for the first time, you have to understand what are all the key concepts. For example, in the first chapter, electrostatics, Coulomb's law, Gauss's law, electric field, properties of electric field, they are key concepts. You cannot skip any of those, so you have to write them down in your notebook. Next, this will help you to revise the chapter quickly. This will not only help you to revise the chapter for your KCET, this will also help you to revise the chapter for your PU exam as well. Okay, you write down the small version of the derivation that you are doing. Okay, so if that will help you to revise the derivation quickly before exam. You go to the exam hall, you remember the derivation. Now you just have to elaborate it. Okay, elaboration is important, so do not just skip the elaboration. You have to elaborate the short derivation that you have done in the your notebook. Attempt minimum one mock test per month. So that is recommended. At least one mock test every month should keep you ready for your KCET exam. Okay, mock test basically prepares you for the time management, because writing 60 questions in 60 minutes is not easy, so you have to prepare for that. Now let's move on with our discussion that revision plan. Revision plan is the most important plan of all of them. Okay, because if you are not revising, if you are just only studying, then basically you are wasting your time. So in the November month, all the PU1 chapters should be revised. In the November month, as you have completed the syllabus by the end of October, beginning of November, you have to revise all the PU1 chapters. You already have studied PU1 chapters at least once, right? Now you have skipped some of the chapters because you are not ready, or you are thinking that I will just go for the important questions discussed in the class. So you may have ignored some of the concepts. So go revisit your PU1 chapters. Try to go through the chapters one by one and understand where you lack. Those chapters you mark it, you revise it once more. Okay, that is how you should continue with your PU1 revision. PU1 revision is very, very important part of your KCET top 1000 rank, right? Next, December, PU2 most important chapters. So I have already shared the list of most important chapters. You can go back and check that, and you can take a screenshot and save it in your mobile phone, so that you don't never miss out on what are all the chapters that are important. So revise most important chapters. In January, all PU2 chapters, including medium and low weightage, there is only one less important. So all the chapters you have to revise again in the month of January. You will have your pre-board in the month of January as well. Now there are 2 or 3 pre-boards they are planning to do. Last year there were 3 planned, but only 2 are conducted. So maybe this year also 2 pre-board you have to give. Now based on depending upon your college might prefer more pre-board. Okay. So pre-board exams will be held in the month of January. In the month of February, you have to revise again all PU2 chapters, because from March onward your final board exam, right? So from February end, this is your final board exam. During this time you have to write mock test for your PU2 exam as well. Do not ignore PU2. I know you will be writing a lot of exams in your colleges, but still you should not ignore PU2. You have to get as close as possible to the centum marks, that is 100 out of 100. So if you are trying to score 100 out of 100, then only you will be able to secure say 95, 98 marks. Okay, if you're thinking that I'll be happy with 80 marks, that is not going to help you in the long run, especially for a good KCET rank. So 95 plus is at least that should be your minimum target to get, right? So all PU2 chapters you have to revise again and write more mock tests as much as possible. If your college is organizing exams, very good. If it is not, then you have to use your previous year papers or some books that you have. From there also you can practice. Now let's move on to the study materials, which is very, very important part of KCET journey, because many of you will buy very thick books and you will think that, oh, this is KCET syllabus, I will die. Only main resource that you need for your KCET exam is your NCERT textbook that you already have. 4 NCERT textbook, part 1, part 2 of P1, part 1, part 2 of your P2. Okay, so these 4 NCERT textbooks are sufficient to score well in KCET exam. But yes, those books are sometimes can be boring. You may not feel to study from there. So basically you ignore those books. I will come to that as well. Okay, along with your PU1 and PU2 textbooks, you also can follow NCERT exemplar book. Now remember, exemplar book has not been updated in last 4-5 years, so the syllabus of exemplar book is still old. Some questions are not as modern as it should have been, so you can definitely as a whole, the concept wise, this is a good book, you can follow it. Along with that, you also can follow the question bank published by your exam board. Okay, so your PU board have given you a question bank, exhaustive question bank. You should follow that question bank as well. That is also an important resource. Obviously, as you are feeling bored through study through your textbook, then definitely you can come to us. We are trying to make a study interesting. We will be helping you. So Deeksha Karnataka YouTube channel is your go-to resource. If you have not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, because we are going to bring you lot more materials, lot more exciting way of teaching science as well as other subjects. Right now, 10 years PUIQ books is very important. It's essential for you to do well in KCET exam. You cannot do anything without a PUIQ book. So 10 years KCET PUIQ book, 20 years, 25 years. There are a lot of books available in the market. We also have one book, but that is not updated up to 2026. So once it is updated, we will notify you. So you can purchase that. But purchase a book which have all the questions till 2026 exam. Okay. Do not purchase a last year's book which only have up to 2025 exam. So wait for some time. Once 2026 edition is updated, purchase that book, and you have to solve at least last 10 years book. If you can solve more than that, that will well and good. But if not, at least 10 years is mandatory. You cannot skip any one of year from this 10-year PYQ. Okay. Now next is safe score in KCET exam. So many of you will think if I score 80 marks in PU and say 40 marks in KCET, I should be getting a rank below 5,000. No, you will get a rank more than 25 to 30,000. That is reality. Okay, nowadays everyone is doing well in PU exam, and if you are not doing well in PU exam, then you are actually falling at least 5 to 10,000 rank below. Okay, so make sure you should not ignore your PU exam, and PU mark should be around 290 plus. 290 plus. So at least one subject, if you are getting say 98, 99, okay, then you are good. If you are getting a centum in one of the subjects, very good, because maths, physics, they are easy. You can score easily 100 marks in one of them. Chemistry for some of you may be difficult, so you should target at least 95 marks in chemistry, 95 in physics, and 100 in maths. Then you should be around 290, right? So that should be your target in your head. I have to score 290 plus in my PU exam. So that is very, very important. Okay, so PU board PCM mark should be 290 plus. Physics should be 50 to 55 minimum. Minimum 50 to 55. If you can score more, that will be better. As I mentioned, the difficult portion and medium difficulty portions, that's where the students struggle, and that's why many students end up with 45, 46, below 50 marks. That will give you a rank 15,000, 20,000. Okay, so you have to be prepared in your head. If I am not doing well in KCET exam, my rank will go down drastically. If I am not doing well in PU exam, my rank will go down drastically. So that's why PU2 as well as your KCET exam, this should be your target. Assuming that your chemistry and mathematics marks are over 50, then you can expect a rank below 5,000. Okay, so doing everything also now will not guarantee you a rank below 1,000. Right? So if you are still thinking that I will stay relaxed, I will stay chill, you will not be able to do that. You have to start your preparation today. You have to start your preparation as soon as possible. I am giving you some time till you can start, that is July, first week of July. So from there you can start your preparation, but still you should not stay idle right now. You should also start studying right now. And if you have if you don't want those headaches, if you just want to follow a proper guided plan, definitely you can join our Pariksha Veera batch. The batch is being launched 6th of July. I know there was some issue happened with the batch. It was supposed to start in the month of June, but it got delayed. But it is no longer in hibernation, so it is waking up from its hibernation. We will see some of the promotions happening in our channel as well, right? So the batch will start from 6th of July. The link of the batch is given in the description section of this video. Okay, if you want to know more about the batch, follow our channel. We will discuss in detail about the batch, class timings, okay, the date, the start date, etc. So it will be starting from 6th of July. So starting date of Pariksha Veera batch is 6th of July. Okay, and we will complete the syllabus by 6th of November. So by 6th of November, your entire PU2 syllabus will be completed, right? And it will be a very comprehensive, slow kind of class. It will not be a fast track class. It will be slow kind of a class where we will be completing the entire syllabus of your physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. Okay, physics, chemistry, maths, and biology, all 4 subjects will be covered. So it does not matter whether you are preparing for your board exam or you are preparing for your KCET exam. If you join this batch, definitely this will be much beneficial, and the pricing details, etc., you can check in the description section of this video, or as I mentioned, there will be separate promotional video for Pariksha Veera. You can check that out as well. Okay, so if you want anything else from me, please mention that in the comment section below. And if you have already purchased Pariksha Veera and still waiting for the start date of the batch, so note down the batch date, 6th of July 2026, the starting date, right? And this is for 2027 PU and KCET exam, right? I'll be back with more videos very soon. Till then, bye.